Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Tony.
How you doing?
Really good.
Good. How about you?
I'm great. I get to talk with you two. And congratulations on Mrs. Davis. It's eerily funny, and um, this must be just a great set to work on. I'll start with Jake. Working with Betty Gilpin must be butter.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know. Chris and I have been saying all morning that we could pack an entire interview talking about just the cosmic force that is Betty Gilpin. Um, Incredible, man. I feel grateful. We talk about Chris's character being every Hemsworth brother plus Russell Crowe from Gladiator thrown into a blender. She's the best parts of, Meryl Streep and Lucille Ball thrown into a blender. She elevates material that was honestly already so elevated. I mean, Tara and Damon's scripts were absolutely bonkers, and somehow Betty's able to ride that, ground that, and take all the big swings that she takes. I mean, I can think of specific examples in this show where I came in thinking it could be this one thing, and then by the way that she would approach a scene, it would elevate into this new territory, which is kind of the best thing you can ask for as an actor, because it just forces you to listen and be open to playing around. So, yeah, again, not I don't have enough time to go down the list of all the ways I think she's
Well,
cool.
I would imagine for both of you, Chris, as well, playing around is what you want to do as an actor. I mean, you want to riff a little bit. You want to take that script and make it more.
Yeah, it really depends on the production, depends on how willing the writers and producers are for you to to take the material and shift it. If you're really lucky, you get to work on material like this, where Tara and Damon have done such a great job putting what needs to be on the page exactly where it needs to be, that the playing isn't necessarily riffing or changing the material because the material is about as good as it can get. The playing happens more within the action with your scene partner and how you feel free to express those brilliant lines that have been written. And that was really the case in this instance. And as Jake said, you're never going to find a better sparring partner than Betty Gilpin. And she, by virtue of her just her general kindness on set as a person, and then her immense talent, she manages to help pull out the best performances out of the people that she's working with. And I feel really fortunate to have had the chance to work with her and with Jake. I have to say, and I've said this before, but for a guy that's as unbelievably handsome and kind, that level of charisma and talent shouldn't be allowed in his body, but it is, and I love him.
Yeah, he's a Jake.
I love you, man.
He's a national treasure. I'll tell you, he's a
He is
national.
a national treasure. He is. He is. Yep.
Oh my
Jake, tell me
goodness.
a little bit about your character, Wiley.
Wiley is an ex rodeo bull rider, or at least he thinks he is. He's also the ex boyfriend of our hero Simone. You find out in one of the episodes, had a pretty devastating breakup that has kind of charted the course for the 7 years after that, in which he has funded and pulled together an underground resistance to take down Mrs. Davis, as you do when you're heartbroken. Um, and Whether or not it's to solely take down Mrs. Davis or win back Simone or some Freudian, you know, a blend of both, is anyone's best guess. But he's fun to play. I think Wiley comes into this story really thinking that he's the main character. I think he thinks that right up until the end. And so that was a fun dynamic to play with, kind of approaching every scene like you're Han Solo and you're the hero. And this is your story and you're on my quest, and realizing that's just not the case. Also, I mean, Simone has the ability, and Betty has the ability comedically to just kind of rip him apart bit by bit and kind of dismantle all the ways he thinks he's cool, as an ex-girlfriend is usually able to do. So playing with that dynamic with him is really fun. Yeah.
Chris, in our final moments, we have. I love your voice work, by the way. You're a tremendous voice actor.
Nice.
My aunt was June Foray, so I come
Oh
from.
my goodness gracious! Wow. So you understand the pedigree. That's very cool.
I do, but does that add to your on-camera work?
Definitely. Yeah, having a facility and a general agility with regard to the voice helps me find the character. The character I play on this, JQ, brilliantly written, but it wasn't really on the page that JQ needed to be Australian or Tasmanian or regional
Wasn't on
US.
the page at all.
No, it wasn't. So when Damon sort of asked me what other kind of sprinkles and spices we could add to the character, I sort of found this, cinematic Russell Crowe meets the guy who grew up on the farm next to the Hemsworth brothers, and and it was, JQ was born, and so yeah, the voice definitely comes into play.
Thank you both so much. And again, it's Mrs. Davis. It's just a terrific, terrific series. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, man.